Hello, my name is Lucía Hinojosa. These poems are a response and a celebration to the growing phenomenon of smashed, painted, and intervened public monuments by tireless feminists during the protests in Mexico City. These monuments that keep getting wiped and cleaned by the government after each protest. I think these are a symbol of our times, and I wrote these poems in response. Let's say the word fragility more than 365 times until it breaks, so we can enter the vacuum where the pulse of minerals, translucent fireworms, and dawn palpitate with becoming. You are also this body, this body, this body. Contemplate the word that is the rock. Wake up in the middle of a sentence. Telluric scriptures wash down, material discourse. The fracture of a frontier is the ordinary process of your weeping. Political subversion inhabits in your hands, carrying all possible gestures. Come back to this rock cavity, language, wipe or weep the spell, and agitate to turn over. As I write and think in the lead coming out of my pen, over the surface always possible, always impossible of this blank paper, I think we can perpetually become, and there is no debt, no difference between a theoretical body, a sensuous body, the body that is disappearing, or an illiterate body, a precarious body, the body of a dead animal on the highway, or a disillusioned body in crisis, the body that can be readjusted, can be refuted, the body that cries, the forgotten body of someone else's, the body of the water that we hold is fragmented in the illusion of nation, like madre patria, like border. Border is an interactive mask. What is a body but a politics of location? This last poem is for Cecilia Vicuña. Politics is not a discourse you can hold. It is not even language, but more like an insect traveling your pineal gland, moving your peripheries, dissolving the visible dimension of consciousness like an act of migration, like a scale of realities reacting to each other, moving all your forces and coming alive in the impossibility to voice a tongue, a migrating tongue, like the apparition of an organ or the elements morphing fire, air, water, ether, and earth. Your tongue is still moving in the absence of a desert grain, like a filament stroking all your erotism. Negative spaces open the thread, like a cancelled monument. Your nomadic insect touches this corpse. What is a body but a drift that has to be voiced? Thank you.
This is Gerard from Mexico City. I'm going to read you a poem I wrote for Malcolm Lowry. It's titled Le gusta este jardín que es suyo. Beyond the pyramidal loom of volcano chains, vultures deploy downwind, their shadows racing, winking across the valley. Mood of martyrdom, the slow flapping of their wings. The stench of roadkill slants no shadows, and there is no echo of lamentation. Only vultures in a lazy float before the brick red sun. They spin mid-flight like the wheel of time, but they move forward still, and they guide my path to the eerie, shining depths of the Fresno trees. Is it the mezcal that invests this place with magic, or is it only time's circumfluence that is mezcal drugged? For it seems that everywhere you turn, an abyss awaits round the corner. An abyss dimmed in subliminal stimulus, a livid, crepuscular dusk. The night pours down molten black, like liquid obsidian stone, and the vultures know to plunge, their scene of carnage, a long-awaited feast. Is this land a safe footway for my phantom to endlessly pace, followed by my own unwanted shadow? You are lost, say the trees tossing in the fields. You are forlorn, rattle the weedy shrubs. But then, why am I here, says the silence. What have I done, echoes the hollow, empty night. The vultures caw, but they are nowhere to be seen. Then dust obliterates the scene. Dust, dust, dust. A soft invasion of dissolution. Long live the Poetry Project.
Hello, my name is Ashley M. Jones, and I am really excited to read for the Poetry Project's annual New Year's Day Marathon. I have two poems here that I'm going to read to you today. This first one is about my hometown, Birmingham, Alabama. We, of course, were the center of a lot of the civil rights activity in the 50s and 60s, and this poem is about the Children's March from 1963. Birmingham Fire and Rescue Haiku, 1963. What about us said we were on fire? What said extinguish quickly, fill up the hose and set the dogs loose? Could they smell our confusion? Or was it our singing? Were our voices like sirens, a chorus of blood? We were wet black seeds in that raw Birmingham flesh. We germinated. Did the photos show our fingers stretching like roots? Did they show our eyes, how they reached sunward to the hot, bright, silent star that could turn water to steam, seeds to fruit? Did they see themselves become our fertilizer? And the last piece I want to read is a newer piece, and it talks about the misconception that racism and oppression only exists in the South. In fact, we can trace it all the way back to the founding of our nation if we really wanted to. So this poem is called All Y'all Really from Alabama, and it begins with an epigraph from Dr. King. The straitjackets of race prejudice and discrimination do not wear only Southern labels. The subtle psychological technique of the North has approached in its ugliness and victimization of the Negro, the outright terror and open brutality of the South. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Why We Can't Wait. This here, the cradle of this here nation. Everywhere you look, roots run right back south. Every vein filled with red dirt, blood, cotton. We the dirty words you spit out your mouth. Mason-Dixon is an imagined line. You can theorize it or wish it real, but it's the same old ghost. See-through, benign. All y'all from Alabama. We the wheel turning cotton to make the nation move. We the scapegoat in a land built from death. No longitude or latitude disproves the truth of Founding Fathers' sacred oath. We hold these truths like dark snuff in our jaw. Black oppression's not happenstance, it's law. Thank you. Happy New Year.
What's up? What's there in this town? It's easy, very easy. Why do I have to know what I am doing or who I am? I like being nobody within 5 blocks of Baltimore, said Martha Colburn to John Smith, who was drinking his Armagnac in a Paris bar, Rue Bussy. I have my 2 minutes, so I will repeat it. What's up? What's easy, very easy. Why do I have to know what I am doing or who I am? I like being nobody within 5 blocks of Baltimore, said Martha Colburn to John Smith, who was drinking his Armagnac in a Paris bar, Rue Bussy.
Flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life for me. Feeling good. Dragonflies out in the sun, you know how I feel. Butterflies all having fun, you know how I feel. Sleep in peace when day is done. That's how I feel. And this old world, it's a new world. It's a bold world for me. Feeling good. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Freedom is mine, I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Feeling good.
Come ye, ye who have peace. Hear me. What I say now, come ye, ye who would have peace. It's time for us to pray. I said, come ye. Ye who have no fear, who know what tomorrow brings. It's time to start praying for a better world of peace and all good things. I said, come ye who still have hope that we can survive. Come ye who still have hope. Well, we'll fight to stay alive. I said, come here, ye who still have love. It's time to take a stand. Oh, come ye, ye who still have hope and love everywhere. Oh, come ye, I said, come ye, I said, come ye, oh, come ye, oh.
Hi everyone. This spring, when the lockdown first started, I began to walk down every day to sit by the East River, and my walk always led me by the old Gouverneur Hospital. And this is something I wrote about walking down to the river. Gouverneur Hospital, quiet as roses, the roses to the river. The roses lie beyond the hospital, but I think of the hospital as the first of the roses. There are windows open in the hospital, with curtains adrift behind the screens, adrift in the afternoon, and beyond the hospital, the river. My way to the river leads down Gouverneur Street, almost straight up to the front door of the hospital, old Gouverneur Hospital, where it sits, quiet as roses, in the afternoon light, sandy red roses, the color of brick, the color of stone. The hospital dreams. It draws me like a dream into which I am walking, but I don't go in the hospital. I don't think I'm allowed to go in Gouverneur Hospital. I don't know who can go in that hospital. Strange, derelict men. You can always see one or two of them struggling, staggering, limping down Gouverneur Street. At first I would think, he looks dangerous. But then I would think, he's on his way to Gouverneur Hospital. A jet black man in ragged shoes with no shirt and some strange turban of rags on his head. A man limping on crutches in a beautiful gray suit he's been wearing for 60 years. Men like that. There are always one or two of them on their way to the hospital or standing by the door. I envy them somehow, their power to go in that door. At the hospital, I turn left onto Water Street and walk past the beautiful old housing development with its strange alleys of grass and lampposts where nobody goes. On past the roses, blooming in spring, on my way to sit by the river. And I thought I'd read one more really short one if I can. It's called Sitting by the River. I sat by the river today and looked across at Brooklyn. The light goes over, touching all the steeples and rooftops of Brooklyn. So beautiful, so beautiful. Things in the distance, Brooklyn going away. A little squirrel sits at my feet, wanting a nut or bread, something to eat. He has tufts of white fur behind his ears and inquisitive eyes. I wish I could give him something. Near my bench, he finds a crumb of bread, which he sits and eats till it's gone into his white, furry belly. Happy New Year, everyone.
I'm Andrei Codrescu. History Redux. When I was a child, I had no trouble destroying the world with mind rays. The neighbors who communalized our kitchen, the empty ghost houses in the overgrown bushes behind the crumbling cement walls where ghouls screeched. The stepfather who wrestled my dog Nemo out of my arms and gave him away to someone I'm still looking for. The classmate who tried to buy the frog stanza, I didn't sell him. Fathers, cities, trains, empty skies, the shadow police, school. I was moody, and destruction was the vivid product of my mind. I observed ants and bees and wild cats, and I was sad for them. I was happy for the birds. I didn't know how the cats destroyed them. The clouds looked fluffy until they filled up with info instead of water. Like stadiums, they now belong to corporations. They are going dark. The politics are as bad as the environment, gasping for breath. We won't make it to that nitrous oxide planet, friend. We won't laugh involuntarily when our teeth and eyes are gone. Walk like the goats, straight up. What is this rock for, anyway? Textinction. Something I made up in the mirror of enmeshed languages, survived briefly, then died in my lifetime. It was poetry, it was art, it was the ineffable stench of a dying world. I speak two human languages, each one mirrored by its twin and followed by its echo. Each word an abstracted world, dying when it is spoken, followed by dreams and repetition. My mysterious languages buzz in mirrors, inside and outside your homes. Some of them are in your dreams. Narcissus doesn't care where he sleeps. He prefers wordless poetry to vanishing mirrors, polluted springs, absorbed by screens of forgetting. In the morning, I make up the bed. I chase out bodies from the hollow of repetition and the echo of mirrors that have looked deeply into my sleep. Strangers roomed there. They brought news to me, ripe fruits fallen to the ground, ripe fruits of Babel. Before the despair of twilight sets up the mirrors for another night, daytime goes into another fleeting poem that leaves behind shadow and echo. Reader, don't bother to learn these words I am Ishi, the last speaker of that coiled wire of repetition and echo, of repetition and echo. Questions for fortune tellers. Oh, birds who talk constantly. Oh, flowers we use for divination. Oh, pets walking on smug leashes. We have questions for you. I keep a list of questions in my pocket. My little notebook of questions. Are emojis the first language? Do ideograms express enough of what words contain? Are images more alive than words? Does a word contain 1,000 images? Is human the same in word and picture? Do nameless whirling objects whirl faster in image or in word? I no longer understand anything because of the words I used to name them. I wake up in what passes for time these days. I earnestly ask non-humans. Project. Men wearing only masks and condoms walk on empty streets in cities, podcasting reviews of fake movies and unwritten books for unborn children who may or may not want to be here. The outdoor cafes are full of ghosts. The road is lined with corpses. A hairy caterpillar with 100 million legs begs for food from your daughter, America.
To the dumpster, vicious liar. Somehow, our venerated tree did produce a poisonous fruit, a freakish fruit that contained intertwined strings of little germs. A freakish fruit that spewed the larvae of corruption, racism, hatred, and death. But fortunately, we gathered our strength, bulged our muscles, and shoot down the warm and lie-laden freak. Let us scoop it up with our rotor shovel, discard it in the dumpster of oblivion, and let us regenerate our tree, revitalize it, water it, peel off rotten barks, chase away the nefarious bugs, prune well every limb, and invite reviving winds and sun rays and rain showers to make all leaves, all twigs, and all branches sway and swing, and produce only fruits of harmonious life. King of the skunk den. Somewhere on our fast-warming land, there is a foolish man who thinks that he is the ultimate
king. But it sadly happens that his gold-plated entourage stinks, and all his undertakings also stink. He is definitely going down in history as the lewd and callous king of a skunk den.
Hi everyone. My name is Mariana Valencia, and I have a poem that's called Brownout to share with you today. Happy New Year. A brownout, a brownout, a brownout, brownout, brownout. A brownout is an electrical demand that exceeds the available supply of power. Like when there's a heat wave and everyone in the city runs their air conditioners on high and suddenly the energy dips, that power shift, brownout. That, is it going to blow feeling? Brownout. That, how do I deal, will everything get stuck here feeling? Brownout. That squinting to get by feeling? Brownout. The lights have dimmed, brownout. A shift in power, brownout. Detention, detention, detention is a brownout. Brownout, a brownout, a brownout is detention. When the recovery of power teases from a distance, recovery is a practice, and the practice of recovery seeks a pattern without pain. Brownouts can be physical too. When a physical brownout occurs, there's a partial loss of power. The partial loss of power to remember, like when you only remember half of something. Currently, I'm in a brownout on repeat. A brownout is not a blackout. I've lived through blackouts. I can't remember a blackout, but I can remember portions of a brownout. I can feel through a brownout, and it makes me wince through it. A skipping record brownout, a constant lack brownout, a present past brownout, a past present brownout. Power on recess, running freely without me. A vision out of reach. Please, please come back to me, please. I'm over here sitting on the bench at recess. Detention is a brownout. Thank you.
Making it. I've gotten a taste for handouts and I can't quit. Everybody's living worse than me, it seems. I don't, therefore I ain't. Even in the end times, I think, to become a rapture consultant, like a sexy up-and-coming young eschatologist. I always wanted to be a bright thing, but self narcs on self, narcs on self. I could tell myself, my cruelty is a reservoir for those who deserve it. My cruelty turns upward. My cruelty overflows. My cruelty never misses its mark. Nowadays, time sinks luscious. My time, our time. Pleasures and horrors, both ours unforeseen. I believe that we will win. I once believed that we will win. I believe we could still win if we wanted. I believe dust. I bruise like butter, you know, my skin yields like silk. Would the revolution eat me alive? Biding time, that's plenty to do besides slow tasks. Take long walks, think bitter thoughts, write satanic little songs. I wake up for nobody at all, give myself to nobody. Stand frying onions in a blood-stained thong. This kitchen is far from sterile, and they're popping off fireworks like we won a war. I will never live better. And so what if I grip glasses loosely, daring shatter? I want to remember this. I want it to hurt.
Happy New Year, everybody. I wish that we could be all together under one roof at St. Mark's, celebrating this new year, which will hopefully be better than the last. And since I can't be in New York, I'm going to read to you a poem that takes place in New York, and it's called You to the Future. What would you have said to the future? Future, you will have no scientist in it. Future, your scientist was kissing a Canadian. Future, you could have told me don't go to his apartment, depress the doorbell for many seconds, wait in his favorite diner around the corner, call him from the dark and humid underground of your last rumbling hope. But future, let me tell you something truly remarkable. There were payphones on subway platforms, which was great when you needed one, but if you needed one, things were often not so great. You were late for an interview, or you wanted to be told, don't get on that train, I love you, come back to bed. No one on a subway payphone wanted to be told, hold on. You were lost trying to buy weed, calling some guy's beeper. The receiver and keypad were archives of body, come city, and in these moments of disorientation, of numbers black and waxy and sticky, the pointer finger brought you closer to your desire with its impeccable memory. Future, I guess you already know lovers feel their feelings wherever and whatever the mode, on the body, no longer at home. A screen the size of a palm, but in you, future, no one will know what it's like to make a collect call, to reverse the charges, nor remember the ode a Spanish poet wrote to his light bulb, late one night in the kitchen.
Hi, I'm Brenda Hillman. I'm going to read 2 poems to you from my garden in California in early winter. And just to say thanks to the Poetry Project for all the daringness and great stuff over the years. The fantastic voices that you've brought. The bride tree lives 3 times. This is from my book, Extra Hidden Life Among the Days. In willing textures where the wood rat lives, the drought lets trees die twice. Realism and magic steady one another, and the hurt in your heart from the human fact circles the edge of the park. The bride tree blooms late this year, its nature stored at the edge of day. Some like to avoid the word nature, but what to put in its place for ants and thoughts and parking meters, stars and skin and granite, quarks, the world above and below. When you are confused about poetry and misunderstand its brown math, the sessile branches and a seal of awe attach the tree to the dark. Someday you'll need less evidence. The missing won't cease to exist. For now, you stop to eat the free fruit only you knew would appear, and for that, you have your human hands, infinite nature, a single body, standing on this earth. And my second poem is from a manuscript in progress, and this was written early during the pandemic. to the voice of the age. They gave up their fear of sincerity. They gave up their decorated nights. Evening birdsong had folded into chalk. Even shadows grew less white. We'd been faithful mostly to our own special tribe. Couldn't keep the burned forests alive. Of the beasts of the apocalypse, one was light green. It was a dream. We didn't choose that. We chose the rat, the cat, the fox, the past, and when we sang to ourselves, the song went, "What is the voice of the age, my friends? What is the age of the voice? Adenine, cytosine, guanine, uracil. The voice of the age is a fragment. O sea of glass, cart of straws, O air, round as a book of moths." Hard to forgive certain centuries, my friends. The age of the voice is the choices. The voice of the page is the voices. Oh, love song, in an old blue cart, wheel of ciphers, wheel of eyes, wheel of beauty, code, and blues. The voice of the age is the voices.
Hello everybody, I'm so happy to be here with you on what will be by now the first day of the new year. It's been a damn hard year and I am always happy to be here with a place that's been a home to me as a poet for a long time, and here's to a new year full of joy. 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 Just joy? No! Joy. Just joy. Just joy? No! Allow no arms here! Here! Only joy! Legs. Legs allowed? No! No legs! Only joy! Heads. Heads allowed? No! Just joy! Are porcupines allowed? Okay, porcupines allowed. And joy. Air. Air okay? Yes, okay, air. But no hands! No hands and joy! Second poem, I want to say that I'm here with my associate, my Eva, Grace to be Born and Live as Variously as Possible, Sikelianos Hunt, 15-year-old daughter in the house. Polishing my animal mirror. I was polishing my animal mirror. No moths appeared there in the single crystal genetic light, in the dark mirror candle night. I was polishing my animal mirror, examining my animal teeth. A snake appeared in the mirror's thin gravel driveway. Someone had run over, had flattened it into permanent S shape. In the animal mirror, my incisors were not fangs, but surely they could still tear meat. Yes, the cat. Yes, the bear. I was polishing my animal mirror in non-invasive knowing and wondering about control, the magic kin, magic skin of this animal mirror. Don't worry, that's just me, you say to yourself, shining like a violet ground beetle under a stone. Starfish are near vertebrates over to the left. Coelacanth on the far side, riding toward you and birds. Reptilian branch of flame on the plain. In the animal mirror, mollusks are inching toward earthworms who, touching themselves, touch earth anew each time they move.
Hi, my name is Hala, and I'm going to read a poem today. This is called When They Say Pledge Allegiance, I Say. My country is a ghost, a mouth trying to say sorry, and it comes out all smoke, all citizen and bullet and seed. My country is a machine, a spell of bad weather, a feather lacing my mother's black hair. I mean her dyed hair, I mean her blonde hair, I mean her hair matches my country, so shiny and borrowed and painted over. My country is a number, like it is 1948 and my great-great-grandmother flattens bread with her hands, while my other great-great-grandmother prays with her hands. One watches her land disappear, the other builds a house on land that will disappear. My country is an airport line, a year of highways, an intermission. My country is Stockholm Syndrome, is immigrant mouth saying thank you, saying please, saying my country is no country but ghost, is no man but ghost. My country is dead. My country is name the dead, give them their salt. My country is a mouth trying to say pledge and it comes out all salt. My country is a mouth and nobody can pronounce my name. I mean my country forgets my name. I mean my country is always asking for my name. And I'm always saying it twice, spelling it like an address. My country is a number, like it is 1967 and every Arab leader is crying. Every mother is clutching the son she has left. And my great-grandmother names my mother nostalgia, while my great-grandfather names my father a gun. My country is all ghost. My grandmother is all ghost. My grandmother is a country, I mean my grandmother is my country, I mean my country is a lie, is an emptied house, is 1,000 cardboard boxes. My country is remember when we left Akka? I mean Rosa, I mean Homs. My country is a number, like it is 1990. My mother is crossing a border, I mean desert, I mean life. I am at her heels, I am paying attention. I mean I am learning to pray to a flag. I mean I am learning English. I mean I am forgetting Arabic. Or, it is 1994 and I am falling in love with a white boy, a habit I will never kick. Or, it is 2003 and I am in Beirut watching Baghdad burn because of America. I mean I am in my country watching my country burn because of my country. Or, it is 2016 and who saw it coming? Some saw it coming. Or, it is 2019 and the women in Beirut are a sea. I mean, my country looks beautiful in red. I mean, I look beautiful in red. I mean, this country likes me in red. Or, it is every year, and my country is taken. I mean, my country is stolen land. I mean, all my countries are stolen land. I mean, I sometimes am on the wrong side of the stealing. My country is an opening. I mean, bloom. I mean, bloom not like flower, but bloom like explosion. My country is a teacher. I mean, do you want to see my passport? I mean, do you like my accent? I mean, I stole them. I mean, I stole them. I mean, where do you think I learned that from? Thank you.